Good morning, everybody. Well, the cricket season is back, which means so is my good mood. That's a joke. I'm never in a good mood. But I am really looking forward to today's game at Chester Street, which is Durham women versus Lancashire women. Now, last year it was a cracker. Let's see what they produce today. I'm on my way to the ground. I'm rather early today, meaning I should make the toss quite easily. And that could be really quite important for today's game because it's not been the best weather. We've had some rain overnight, meaning it's likely to be a wet pitch. Now, usually when the pitch is wet, whoever wins the toss chooses to field first. So we'll see if that happens. Last year, I feel that Durham did an awful lot better when they batted first, but if Holly does win the toss, we'll see what she decides. Now, usually at this stage is where I would talk about the form that the teams have been in, but this is the first game of the season, so I don't really have a lot to go on. But Lancashire are the current holders of the one-day cup. But Durham were able to win here last year, so I'm hoping it's going to be a really good game. Looking at the squads that have been announced, they're rather similar to last year's teams as well. Durham do not have Susie Bates this season, and there's no Alana King for Lancashire. And sadly, I don't think we're going to see a huge amount of overseas internationals this summer due to the World Cup. So, not too far away from the ground now. I will give some updates when I get some team news. So just over there is the area I like to sit, usually, and that happened to be the area that was damaged, unfortunately. So I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to watch from today. I tend to like to be to the left on the bowler's arm, but I could go to the right of the bowler's arm at the other end. But I may choose to just have a slightly squarer angle and sit near the pavilion, not entirely sure. We sadly have a bit of light rain and the umpires are out there having a look at the moment. Couple of Durham girls warming up, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a late start therefore for today's game. But looking at the forecast, I think it should be dry pretty much all afternoon, so we should get most of the play, if not a full game. Danny Hazel has named a squad of 14, so there are 3 who aren't going to start, and I'm not entirely sure who they're going to be. I do expect England international Lauren Filer to come in, as well as Maddie Villiers and new overseas signing Talia Wilson. None of them played during the friendly earlier this week, but as I said, not entirely sure who's going to drop out. As for Lancashire, they have an England international of their own in Sophie Eccleston and former international Kate Cross, so it will be really good to see them play again. They're both excellent players who I've really enjoyed watching. India really struggled to handle Sophie last summer, so if Durham want to win today, they're definitely going to need to bat well against her. Now, the toss should be coming up in about 15 minutes, I'd say, but if we do have a delayed start, they might also delay that. So I will keep you posted. I have an update. It looks like we're going to try and start at 11 o'clock, so that's only half an hour later than planned. The toss will be about 10:30, which was the original start time. So it's still raining a little bit, but I think we're going to be okay. It is scheduled to pass over and hopefully we will get going at 11. Still haven't seen the teams yet. The players are out warming up, so I'm making guesses, but I will bring them to you when I've got them. We have had the coin toss and Holly Armitage has won it. Unsurprisingly, she has chosen to field first. So it could be a very good toss to win. We will see what happens. And you should have just seen the lineups. I was correct in that Villiers, Filer and Wilson all come into the side. Wilson will be the wicket keeper today. As for the Lancashire team, it's pretty much what was expected. And they actually have two England internationals in there, with Emma Lamb expected to play as well. We did manage to get her cheaply last year, but I've seen what she can do for England, so we're not really going to want to let her get going. So not too long before we start, and we'll see how it goes.
I managed to get my autograph sheet from the year before. Quite full.
Phoebe Turner,
I missed a couple, I think, to on the...
bowling from the lovely end, Sophia Turner.
We are just about to get started. It got delayed slightly further to 11:15, therefore it's going to be a 48 over match. Sophia Turner is going to open the bowling, and it is Jones and Lamb to open the batting for Lancashire. So, please for getting underway. I will bring an update after about 15 overs. It's 16 overs through the match, and the sun has come out, which is nice, but it's still a bit on the cold side. So if anyone has stayed away due to that, I'm starting to not blame you. But anyway, the match itself is 96 for 1. Lancashire are on, and I think they'll be quite pleased with that. They definitely started the better, even though Emma Lamb did go quite cheaply. It's been a very good partnership between Eve Jones and Gabby Lewis, so they will be looking to continue to build on that. It's been quite steady from Jones. Lewis, on the other hand, hasn't really hung around, and she's got a strike rate of 100. On the bowling side, it's Phoebe Turner who's been impressive. She managed to bowl a maiden, kept the score down quite well. Lewis did work out how to score off her during her last over, but other bowlers have been relatively expensive. It was Sophia Turner who got the wicket of Emma Lamb, but there have been a lot of extras. So I do think Durham need a wicket soon, especially with players like Seren Smale and Ellie Threlkel to come. So I'll give another update in another 16 overs.
Just to give us a
32 overs through, and Lancashire are 188 for 1. I wouldn't say it's been all Lancashire. There has been some good bowling from Durham, particularly from Phoebe Turner again, and there were some good overs from Catherine Fraser. But it's fair to say that they are in complete control at the moment. We have Eve Jones on at 76 and Gabby Lewis on 82. So they're both heading towards centuries, and having been put into bat, it's looking like it's going to be a very good score for Lancashire. I said at one point that I thought the best chance would be from a Katie Levick over if it was hit up in the air. We did have such an occasion not long after I said that, where it was dropped by Maddie Villiers, and I don't know how costly that's going to end up being. It wasn't the easiest chance, but 16 overs left. We'll see if they start hitting it quite hard and whether there are any more wickets. And that is the end of the first innings. Lancashire close on 303 for 8. It could have actually been a lot worse. The wickets fell quite a bit towards the end, but I think they were just trying to hit boundaries and see what happened really by that stage. They'd done a lot of the hard work, and I think it's near enough the perfect innings, really. That's a very good score. They were put into bat first on what was possibly quite a wet pitch, and really it was a stand between Gabby Lewis and Eve Jones that did a lot of the damage. So for the second time in a row I have seen a century in this fixture. Gabby Lewis, I think she finished on about 131. It was a very good innings, and she got a very well-deserved applause as she came back in after losing her wicket. So it's going to be a very difficult chase. I think we're going to struggle with it. I feel like it's going to be quite similar to the Surrey game at the back end of last year. I fear that we're going to lose early wickets and there's just going to be too much to do. But who knows, it could well be a very good batting pitch and we could put some sort of score together. I'm hoping if we can get a good opening stand, they can put the pressure on a boundary and over, and there could be a good chance. So we'll see what we're made of. We're going to be up against some very good bowlers in the form of Kate Cross and Sophie Eccleston. Looking at our bowling, it was quite difficult to say whether it was easier to play the seam or the spin. I think it depended on the bowler. Catherine Fraser, the spinner, ended with quite good figures. She had 3 wickets and a relatively low run rate, and Phoebe Turner did the same on the... Phoebe Turner did the same with the seam bowling. So, well, in terms of she got quite a low run rate, she did get her wicket with her last delivery. I think it was her who got Gabby Lewis. So some of the other seamers and spinners didn't do quite so well when it came to run rate. Maddie Villiers was able to get the wicket of Eve Jones. We didn't see Lauren Filer again. I wonder if she was carrying an injury or she did pull something, because she bowled quite a lot at the beginning, but we didn't see her again. So I do hope that she is okay. Sophia Turner also finished on 3 wickets. She She, I'd say, improved towards the end. There were quite a lot of extras around the beginning, but she bowled a lot better towards the end and managed to get some useful wickets. So there definitely wasn't good bowling by our girls, but some very good batting by Lancashire. I've mentioned most of the good batting, but it was a good innings from Seven Smale at the end. She was very quick between the wickets and managed to get quite a good score, and a nice little cameo from captain Ellie Threlkeld as well. So the chase is coming up. Let's see what we can do.
I'll bring on Captain Ellie Threlkeld. And to open the batting for Durham women, Emma Marlowe and Talia Wilson.
Kate Cross with ball in hand, and she's going to bowl to Talia Wilson. The chase begins. "16 overs in, Durham at 64 for 4. So unfortunately we're looking very, very unlikely to get anything out of this even at this early stage. The chase started pretty well actually. They were scoring off Kate Cross. Tara Norris was able to get the wicket of Talia Wilson quite cheaply, but there was a lot of sensible batting that followed that. Since both Grace Pulse and Sophie Eccleston came on, it's been very different. They've really struggled to score, and the wickets have fallen a lot quicker than we would have liked them to. They're really struggling to handle Sophie Eccleston. They can't score very much off her, and she's had two of the best batters ping it up in the air and be caught. She caught one herself, which was very good actually, and at the other end Grace Potts was able to bowl Maddie Villiers without her scoring. So it's going to be very difficult from here. It's almost definitely a Lancashire win, but we're just going to look at enjoying the rest of the match, and hopefully there'll be some good cricket and seeing if we can put a respectable score together. "32 overs through, and it's 137 for 7. That was actually quite an enjoyable set of 16 overs. Some really good bowling. Eccleston just excellent, like she often is, and a really nice partnership on the Durham side between Bess Heath and Emily Windsor. Emily Windsor is still in, but has lost a few partners, so we'll see what sort of score we can get, whether Lancashire do bowl them out or not. Windsor on strike, and it's land to bowl.
I've never taken.
And that is that. Durham bowled out for 154. That's obviously a disappointing score, but I think they were just simply outclassed today. Some really good cricket from Lancashire, from Gabby Lewis's 133 or whatever it was, to Sophie Eccleston's bowling, and plenty of other good performances as well. Some quick running from Seren Smale in the middle while she was at the crease, and some really good bowling from Grace Potts, who impressed me today. So that was a player who I wasn't sure whether she'd be playing today or not, but she did, and she definitely delivered. And then Emma Lamb, well, she didn't get a very big score with the bat, but with the ball I think she took the most wickets, so really good performance from her. So as I said, a great performance from Lancashire. Definitely deserved the win today, especially after losing the toss and being put into bat. For Durham, as I said, obviously it was disappointing. I think the scoring tends to be quite good, but the wickets do fall very easily, and that's where the disappointment tends to be, and why they cannot quite get the totals that they're capable of sometimes. But a good partnership, as I said, between Bess Heath and Emily Windsor. It's a shame Emily didn't quite get her 50, but there we go, they pick up and go again. It's another home game on Wednesday, which is against Essex, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Regardless of the result today as a Durham fan, it's great to be back at Chester Street watching some cricket, and it's going to be a very enjoyable season, I'm sure, regardless of whether the team win or lose. So congratulations to Lancashire. I do look forward to seeing you again during the 2020, and as for the Durham girls, I will see you on Wednesday. Thanks a lot everyone for watching, and I will be back very soon.